This is Terry, and you're listening to episode 243.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Get ready to discover, develop, and monetize your skills and talents with Terry Wilson.
Thank Christopher B. This is Terry Wilson, and I've been doing this for quite a while. I should know by now that it is a pre-recorded show. It's not live, so if I need to hit stop so that I can bend over and grab something, I should do that instead of trying to record and do it at the same time. But anyway, that's not what you tuned in for. Thank you guys for checking us out. Thank you for coming to TerryWilson3.com. Yes, it is a pre-recorded show, but sometimes you would feel like it is live and on the fly. But that's because there's a lot going on around here. But we thank you so much, and I hope today's show is going to be especially valuable to you. I want to talk to you today about how to start achieving more, how to achieve more of your goals, more of your dreams, more of your ambitions. What are you shooting for? What is it out of life you want? Well, there's a real way to get there. It doesn't have to stay in the philosophical realm. It doesn't have to stay in some sort of pie in the sky, wishful thinking, maybe could have, should have, would have, maybe if my boat comes in. No, you can go after and grab a hold of that which was promised to you and is given to you by the greatness that was put on the inside of you. I've told people many times, and I believe it, and I tell myself every day, you were designed for, with the purposes of, by, and with greatness. And so are you. You're designed to shine. You're not designed just to be put on a shelf, to be told what you're worth, to be told every day, do this, do that. Now, there are times you have to learn how to build your tents, if you will. You have to go back to the woodshed and learn, a certain skill set or something that you might have dropped the ball on. We all are going to have seasons like that. And not every day of every moment of every waking hour in your professional, personal life is going to be mountaintop moments. But if you're always in the valley, then we need to readjust and look at the roadmap we're using, because there ought to be peaks and valleys. The valleys gives us empathy and gives us a drive and gives us, a sense of purpose of why we're in this. And the mountaintops, well, they inspire us. They bring us enjoyment. They bring us fulfillment. And they really are appreciated because of the context of just coming out of a valley. So it's that mosaic of life that makes life so great, so grand, and so wonderful. I think as a person grows and matures emotionally and spiritually, they start to see the value out of each segment in each season that they're in. So whatever season you're in, know that there's a reason for that season, and let's not lose the teachable moments that we can have in that time. And so, but today I want to talk to you about the number one reason most people don't achieve, the number one reason why people don't realize their dreams, their goals, their ambitions. They don't see that thing that is promised to them, is because the one word, start. They just don't start. And I'll talk to you about that right after this. So in our new segment called Stuck on Stupid, I got an email the other day. Stuck on Stupid. And it said, Terry, I don't pay to work. I'm not interested in anything you offer. Well, that just hurts my feelings. But here's the thing. Most of the things that I offer don't cost anything to join. So I don't think the gentleman took the time to read all of the content, but he probably just got triggered by thinking this was some sort of networking thing or MLM because of the nature of my cadence and countenance and the way I talk. I'm excited. I am excited about helping people find something that they can plug into and do from home. Yes, there are some things that cost to get started with us, but there are a lot of things, hourly and salary opportunities opportunities and sales opportunities that cost nothing. So I don't think the gentleman took the time to read everything and all of the content, and he stayed. But here's the other problem with that comment. It is so far from the truth, because the fact of the matter is, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're working at the local McDonald's or if you're working at the local bank as the president. Each one of those, from the person working the drive-thru to the person working as a branch manager at the bank, they're paying for that job. How are they paying for it? They're paying for, maybe they had to get educated to do that job. Maybe there's travel time for that job. Maybe there's things that they have to buy, like clothes and things of that nature, that they have to be there. Maybe there's opportunity loss. You know, there's a high premium I put on my time. And when someone tells me I have to be at a certain place at a certain time for a certain amount of time and tell me what to do during that time, well, that cost me something. It's called freedom. And I put a lot of money. I put a lot of value on that. Some people do not. Maybe this gentleman doesn't. But the fact of the matter is, there is no such thing as a job or a business or anything you can do in life that won't cost you something. The question is, what are you willing to pay? Are you willing to pay and give up your time, your freedom? If that's the case, then so be it. But don't fool yourself. It's costing you something. So don't go around saying, I don't pay to work and stay. Because you do. You're going to pay for whatever it is you do. And take the time, no matter if it's my business or any other business, take the time to stop, drop, and read. It will help you. Because if this gentleman was coming from the unemployment market, I could have probably found him an hourly salary opportunity that he could have gotten plugged in right away and might have helped him. But that's that. Hey, now it's time for our Marketing Minute. Marketing Minute. Marketing Minute. Yes, if you want to take your business, your money, your life to the next level, you do have to have some sort of tool, training, or technology to be able to do that. And today's highlight, what I want to talk to you about is a system we got hooked up with that will literally allow you for about 7 days, try it out for practically nothing. It's only $1. And it's a data mining system and training on how to use that so that you can data mine for emails and cell phones and telephones for leads that would be generated by a specific targeted keyword that you're looking for. For instance, if I'm looking for insurance agents in Atlanta, Georgia, I would put insurance agents in Atlanta, Georgia, and it would pull all the insurance agents in Atlanta, Georgia with their telephone numbers, their cell phones, their emails. And then, if I know what I'm doing, I know how to engage them in some product or service that will bring value to them, probably wouldn't even cost them anything, and then they become a fan, a client of mine, and eventually maybe buy a product from me that does cost them something and makes me a little bit more money. But we offer that tool over at leadsbyterry.com. That's leadsbyterry.com. Check it out. We also have some training over there, free training for you, showing you how to use various tools and technology to generate more clients for yourself and take your business, take your life, take everything to the next level by using these various tools. But you can pick them up at leadsbyterry.com, and you can get a 7-day trial for only $1. And just in full disclosure, if you want to keep it, it's $47. It's not super expensive, but rather than going out and paying thousands of dollars on leads, why not have a tool for $47? You can download unlimited leads, and in the first week you can try it out like you had it, and get unlimited leads for only that $1 if you want to try it out. So go over to leadsbyterry.com and check that out, and that is our Marketing Minute. Marketing Minute. Marketing Minute. So let's talk to you today about how to start achieving more. What does it take to get more, achieve more, to realize more, to take and pull things out of the philosophical? I tell people all the time, you can't pay Duke Power with a dream, a wish. And so many times entrepreneurs that I know, they stay in the dream world rather than the real world. There's nothing wrong with dreams. There's nothing wrong with hopes and ambitions and things of that nature. But if you don't act on them and you don't put feet to those thoughts, those hopes, those dreams, they're just staying in the wishful thinking area, and they're not a practical reality. And what you eat, how you sleep, how you live your life is a direct result and the fruits of the activity that you practically did, not the ideas that you pondered in your head. So here are what I would say are the top 10 excuses of what keeps people from starting. Because see, there's a difference between launching and landing. And most of the time when people start a goal, start on a new career, start on doing something, they have this mindset that they have finally landed into something. And no, that's where the work begins. When you launch a new job, when you launch a new business, when you launch into a new goal, when you launch into a new objective, that's where you are beginning. You are starting. And if you come in with the mindset that I've got it now, I've got this genie in a bottle, I've got this magic pill, all of a sudden I don't have to think, dream, or hope, or struggle, or anything else is right here, then you are setting yourself up for frustration. And so I have isolated 10 excuses. And if you want to know where I got these 10 excuses, it is right out of the good book of Matthew 25, verse 14, where the parable's talking about talents and giving him 1 5, and he gave another 2, and he gave another 1. And the guy that was only given 1 talent based on their abilities came back with nothing but excuses. And you can break down the 10 excuses he gave. And I find that these excuses are still applicable and well, you see them today in today's world. Number one, well, this is just unreasonable. The excuse that you'll first tell yourself when you start on any, great thing, anything that you want to accomplish, is you'll try to talk yourself out of it, saying, it's just too hard. It's unreasonable. It's impractical. I mean, who am I to think I could do that? I mean, why would I want to double my income in the next 12 months? What kind of gall do I have to even think that way? You'll start talking yourself out of all kinds of things, and as soon as you talk yourself out of something and telling yourself it's unreasonable, it's too hard, it's not worth fighting for, then you won't start. If you don't start, there is nothing to receive. So the first excuse you've got to grab hold of and take down is it's unreasonable. Number 2 is unjust. People's sense of justice in today's world is just... well, it's just weird. For some reason, somebody somewhere must have got the idea that everything in this world has to line up exactly the way you think it ought to. And if you don't, you're just going to throw your hands up and quit. I will tell you, I'm the hardest boss I've ever worked for. I'm not just with myself. There are people that I give passes to that I will not give to myself. As an entrepreneur, you've got to get it out of your head that things have got to be just, because sometimes it doesn't appear to be that way. And if you're going to measure up what you think you know about a particular situation and just say, well, I'm not even going to try it, it's not just, you'll never do anything, because the world is fraught with injustice. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not giving it a pass. I'm just saying that's the way of the world, and we can't use it as an excuse. Number 3, it's unfair. Oh, this sense of fairness will kill you, and most reasonable adults understand that. Number 4, fearful. You'll get fearful. Well, I just don't know if I could do this. Who am I? I mean, I feel so qualified. I feel so inadequate. I feel so ill-educated or uneducated or ill-equipped. I mean, you'll come up with all kinds of reasons to become fearful. But if you become fearful and you let that fear drive you, you'll never do anything more than what you're currently doing. And if you don't do anything more than what you're currently doing, you'll never experience more than what you're currently experiencing. So you've got to be able to manage and tame that thing, whatever it might be that's driving that fear. Number 5, you'll withhold the very talent, the skill sets, the education, the thing that you offer, the value that you have that you can bring to the marketplace to capitalize on, to leverage, so that you can create some sort of income stream. You'll withhold that. You'll just hold back on it, saying, it's just, what good is it? And you won't use it. I'm telling you, one of the things that is so disheartening that I see a lot of times is people that have got immense talents, immense skills, immense abilities, but they're not using them. They're over here in, business B doing something because, well, it's paying the rent. But it's not resonating with them. It's not bringing life to them. It's not bringing a sense of purpose to them. And as such, they're just sort of, they're busy. They're doing something and the bills are getting paid, but they just are marking time. And that's because they're withholding, they're not using, they're not engaging the very thing that they've been given that brings them a sense of purpose. Number 6, you undervalue that thing that you've been given. So many people a lot of times say, well, I've only been given this one set of skill sets or this one set of talents. That's what happened to me when the music business went under in 08. I was sitting there going, okay, I play keyboards. I'm a musician. I know how to record. I know how to do things like this. And I'm a salesman. What good is that when the economy is in the can the way it is? And I just had myself a good old pity party. I mean, man, I wished I could have, should have, would have. I should have stayed in school, should have become a lawyer. I loved watching Perry Mason growing up. Why didn't I do that? And I just marked time for several years, well, a couple years at least after the fact, thinking that I couldn't do, couldn't be, couldn't see, couldn't realize, couldn't experience anything more than what I currently was, and my best days were behind me. A lot of times when you go through those valleys, that's what happens. And you will start to undervalue the things that you have. A lot of people wish they could play a musical instrument. A lot of people wish they could do this. A lot of people wish that they had the ability to talk and speak and to persuade. And I've been given by the good Lord those types of abilities, and I just undervalued them completely because I just wasn't happy where I was at. And if you are in that place where you're undervaluing the very thing that you've been given, then you won't start. And the whole point is you can't go anywhere until you start. You have got to get going. You have got to start. It's got to leave the mental realm and get into the feet realm, the hands realm, and actually doing something. Number 7, and this is a hard word, but it's a true word. You become derelict. A lot of times a derelict is someone that doesn't really sense the obligation they have to themselves, their family, their society. They just sort of check out on life and say, I'm not going to do anything else. I've tried there, been there, got the t-shirt, didn't work, so I quit. And you become a derelict. You just don't do what you really are obligated based on what you've been given to do. It's like a lot of times you hear dereliction of duty in the realms of military and policing and things of that nature. Why? Because these people were equipped with a particular set of tools, training, and authority to do something. And if they just sit down on the job and don't do it, well, they're derelicts. Well, you've been given tools. You have been given a certain amount of training on something. You have a life experience, and hopefully you've learned something through it. And if you just sit there and say, I quit, I'm not going to use that which I know, you become a derelict. And if you use that as an excuse, that'll keep you from becoming and starting where you're supposed to. Number 8, you'll hesitate and you'll delay. Well, today's not a good time. It's springtime. People do their taxes. I'm not going to get out and make any sales calls right now. It's a busy time. Easter in the South, it's a busy time of the year. Don't need to do anything else. Well, summer's coming up. People go on vacation. They're out of school. So I'm not really going to try to do anything in my business today. Well, fall's coming. People are going back to school. You're busy there and you got that going on. And so we really need to get the kids in school and get their, the backpacks and all that. We just really, families are busy right now. So I'm not going to make any sales calls. I'm not going to try to launch anything right now. Oh, then it comes the holiday seasons. You got the Thanksgiving and the Christmas and the holiday season and the New Year and all that going on. And it's not a good time to try to build a business, launch a business, talk to people about my products, goods, and services. That's just not a good time. And then we're in the dead of winter. And I mean, who wants to do anything but just stay home and drink soup and hot chocolate and just enjoy the warm. It's people don't want to get out. People don't want to do much right now. It's too cold to do anything. And then all of a sudden we're right back where we started in the spring, where it's just a busy time. You see, there's always an excuse to put off, to delay, to procrastinate, to not do. The fact of the matter is, if not today, then when? If not this, then what? You got to get started. If you don't get started, if you just continually put off, you never will do anything. Number 9, a lot of times people are wanting to shoot the moon. They're wanting to hit the home run. They make the touchdown on the first play. Sometimes you're going to have to start small. A lot of times I have members come on and say, Terry, I wanted your elite package because I could see I could do all this and I could do all this. I could see the ability to earn money here, here, and here. But because I could only afford to do the rep membership package, I'm not going to do anything right now. Well, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Get started. Start small. Do not despise humble beginnings. Get started doing something now. Because if you don't start, you will not ever build the big the momentum you need to really make a dent in the universe as an entrepreneur. Number 10, and this is a big one, loss of opportunity. You know, a lot of times we don't get started just because we feel like the opportunity is past us. We're too old now. We're too young. We're too this, we're too that. Used to could do that, but don't do that much anymore. Used to be here, but and then you just think, well, that ship has sailed. It's no longer available. It's just it's a fleeting thing that used to be, but I can't do it now. And you just say, well, that's an opportunity lost. You dust your sandals, you keep walking, and you just feel like that those days are behind you, and so you'll give yourself an excuse. I've tried this work from home, this entrepreneurial thing. I've tried, taking, some sort of training course to better my life. But, I did that, and that was 10 years ago, and it was great. But, I'm here now, and you feel like that opportunity no longer applies to you, that it's no longer viable to you. And so you'll make the excuse that that's an opportunity lost and never start. See, the point is you got to get started. If you don't start, you will never finish. And if you don't finish, then what are you doing? You're just marking time. So I want to encourage you today, get started. There's greatness on the inside of you. There's something you have been given to do. And it's not for your neighbor's benefit. It's not for your family's benefit. It's not for my benefit. It's not for anybody's benefit that you're successful. It's for your benefit. But as you benefit from it, yes, the people around you and everybody in society that gets to see you go to the next level and gets to partake in the spoils of the battle, well, they want to see you win as well. So get involved, get engaged, stop making excuses today. Hey, remember, if you want to go to the next level, you have to grow to the next level. And that's why I want to give you a free copy of my new book, You Are Worth More. Go to terrywilson3.com/worthmore now.
Thank you for listening to our show today at terrywilson3.com. If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at terrywilson3.com or call 800-673-1728.
Man, it's a great system here. This is good stuff here. I wish I found this company 10 years ago.